There's a verse in Romans chapter 9 that doesn't just support the Calvinist position, it requires it. And the only way to read it as Arminian is to add words to scripture that Paul never wrote. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what that verse says, what Arminians have to do to it to make it fit their theology, and why Jonathan Edwards argued that this pattern, one side reading scripture plainly, the other importing foreign assumptions, is the real dividing line between Reformed and Arminian thought. By the time we're done, you won't just understand why Romans chapter 9:16 settles this debate. You'll have a diagnostic tool you can apply to every controversial passage on sovereignty and free will. You'll be able to see what each system does with scripture, and why one of them requires adding words that aren't there. Let me give you the verse in context. Romans chapter 9, verses 14 through 18. Paul is addressing the question of whether God's election is unjust. What shall we say then? Is there injustice on God's part? By no means. For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I have compassion. So then it depends not on human will or exertion, but on God who has mercy. For the scripture says to Pharaoh, For this very purpose I have raised you up, that I might show my power in you, and that my name might be proclaimed in all the earth. So then he has mercy on whomever he wills, and he hardens whomever he wills. Now isolate verse 16. Read it slowly. So then it depends not on human will or exertion, but on God who has mercy. What does that say? It says salvation depends not on human will, but on God who has mercy. Not partially, not in combination with human will. Paul uses the word not. It does not depend on human will, it depends on God who has mercy. If you read that verse at face value, the Calvinist position wins immediately. Salvation's outcome is determined by God's mercy, not by human will. God chooses whom to save. Human will doesn't factor into the equation. That's what the text says. And here's the thing. You would think this would settle it. Paul couldn't have been clearer